Morning, Joel. How you going, mate? Morning, Paul. Yeah, I'm still recovering from a from a chest infection. It was pretty bad last week. I'm still recovering today, but hey, Paul Willie, how you going, mate? But it's good enough that I can swing a hammer without hacking up a lung. Although, I almost guarantee I'm going to be coughing a lot. Evening, Randy. Hey, Bryson. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Still getting over the worst of it, but, you know. We'll get there. We will get there. Nah, I'll be all right, Randy. It's the morning, so I'm trying to clear all of the build-up that happened overnight. Getting there, Aaron. Getting there. Hey, Chaz. Hey, Brandon. What's on the agenda? The agenda is to forge a Pugio dagger. It's a custom order that I had given to me a while back, and I haven't started on it yet, so I'm gonna make a start. The customer drew up a full 1-to-1 scale drawing for me, so forging 2 dimensions. What am I forging it out of, is the question. When a good foot soldier make his heart and soul at march. That's CPM3V, definitely not forging it out of that. Maybe some of this ADCRV too. Hey Dylan. At least I mean, the apron look good, yeah, for sure. Hey Daniel, how you going? Hey Zach, how you going? I might. No. It's just too narrow. Sup 9 it is. I have this Sup 9. It's 5mm by 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches. Very wide bar, but the dagger is a very wide dagger. A piece of 150 by 12 by 4 meter flat bar from the tip shop. Nice. 3V dimensional forging. I'm going to try it, but not for this specific build. I testing heat sinks on patents this morning. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've seen Green Beetle's videos on doing the heatsink testing for his one. I haven't found a need for a heatsink on mine because I have an aluminium platen with a glass platen attached. Like it's an aluminium block with the glass platen attached, and the aluminium basically acts as the heatsink itself. And the fact that it's a glass, ADCRV, so 80 CRV2. Yeah, yes, I forged that, not stock remove. But it's just the bar isn't wide enough to get the width that I need. Hey, Trail Dust, how you going? Yes, this is a new apron made for me by Randy at Newt's Leatherwork and Metalsmithy. This thing's fucking amazing. Love it. Throwing it back onto mild steel. Yeah, right. Evening, Debaka. How are we? Hey, Thomas. That's cool, Zach. I do miss the old hammer in. Can't wait for the next one. Yeah, Thomas. Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Money Fishing, how you going? I'm going to be moving a bit slower than usual. Can't afford to get my breathing a little bit too hard because I'll start hacking up along. This is how blacksmiths heat their coffee. Unless they're using a charcoal forge, in which case they just sit it over the charcoal. Pogo, yeah, I'm forging a pogo stick. You're right. Knife show tomorrow. Oh, where are you at? Taking a hand like the hot killer. Yeah, unfortunately so. Making a Pugio. Hey Mark, how you going? Hey Dean. Trying to die in D&D. Don't do that. Don't die in a D&D game. Yeah, we're going into spring. So a Pugio is a dagger from the Roman period. It's quite often carried by centurions and other soldiers as a secondary to their Sparta or gladius. That is Pugio. Yeah, totally won't. So yeah, it's basically a Roman dagger. This one's a bit historically inaccurate. The shape's pretty close, but most Pugio had a center rib because they were originally developed during the Bronze Age, where Bronze Age weapons tended to have a rib down the center in order to stiffen the blade. Damn leaf blades, yeah, that's right. Super wide dagger, yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like the grandfather of the Chiquidea. All right, Randy, you have a good one, mate. Hey Bash, how you going? Another apron to go out quickly. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it's in the same vein as like the Iberian Basilard, that kind of thing. Hey Ryan, how you going? Well, that would be correct, Jonathan. Hey Jake, how you going, mate? It's been a while since I forged material this wide, so I may end up having a lot of fun trying to get this thing to stay straight. I haven't swung a hammer in like 3 weeks because I've been dealing with this chest infection. This is gonna take a while. Hey Matt Frere, how you going, man? Well, that's what I'm trying not to do, Daniel. Hey Eric. Oh, happy birthday to your wife. Sub 9, yeah, it is Sub 9. The hardest part with this material is it's, I think it's like 55 mil, like 2 1/4 inches wide, and only 5 mil thick, so less than 1/4 inch thick. So it's going to want to cup on me quite badly, like it's going to want to fold rather than forge. So I'm just going to have to take it slow, which suits me because I can't take it fast. This chest infection has been hanging around for a couple of weeks now, and I'm getting really sick of it because I can't do anything. Test your hammer could draw. Try forging a point on a 2 1/4 inch wide piece of bar. Yeah. Yeah. Use an extra congestion. Yeah, fair enough. Where do you buy my handle? Bruce Beamish. You contact Bruce Beamish. Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky in that I've done a lot of stuff like that, forging 3.2 mil, 1084. Yeah, Matt. It really sucks when you get stuff that prevents you from forging. But yeah, I've done a lot of thin stock forging, purely to test my skill at controlling material. It's a massive pain in the ass to do, but it's a really good test. Hope you've seen the doctor about that, Matt. Prolonged headaches can be a sign of much worse things. My main goal right now is to not have any fish mouth. Whew. Hey, Gory, how you going? Oh, that's good, Matt. Yeah. Just got to keep an eye on it. You don't realize how much you need your lungs until you can't use them. Much like everything else. As my hammer's hanging. Short shriveled and a little bit to the left. Exactly right, yeah. That's what we call them. Apologies to anyone who has misophonia who has issues with coughing and sneezing and shit, because unfortunately that's just going to happen. Yeah, it does, Wayne. It's true. I have found that to be the case. We're getting there. Realistically, this stock is wide enough that I could just stock remove the thing from it, but I'm stubborn. Fair enough, Matt. Morning, Bobby. I got my VersaFlow yesterday. I haven't set it up yet. But yes, I received the box yesterday. It's currently in pieces in my workroom inside, waiting for me to put it all together. Very excited to start playing around with it. You should, Kevin, you should. Nothing wrong with stock removal. It gets a bad rap for no good reason. Just elitist wankers who want to gatekeep the art of knife making. I mean, we'll joke around and call stock removal vegan knife making, but realistically, it is a perfectly legitimate form of knife creation. And some of my favorite knife makers were stock removalists. Stock removal is also historical, yes, it's true. Depending on the period. Yeah, absolutely. And when you get to Mastersmith level, forging unless you're Lin Ray, forging becomes less important than stock removal. Most of the time, mastersmiths will forge their Damascus billets to rough dimension and then stock remove it from there. Brass handle, yeah, that'll do it. But I mean, like, if you watch Kyle Royer's content, which Kyle Royer is one of my favorite smiths, he has the ability to forge to shape quite well, but because he works with Mosaic Damascus, you can't do a lot of forging on that stuff without risking delamination and all kinds of other horrible shit happening. So most of the time, the only thing he does is curve the material to make the pattern run along the edge, and then grinds the rest of it out. Oh, he forges it into Picasso's because, again, you want that pattern to look even. And no matter how good of a smith you are, even Lin Ray removes stock at the end of his forgings. Stock removal is a requirement of bladesmithing. It's just the variations on how much. Man, it's really bad today. I do want to make a briquet gladius and a briquet saber, which are both solid brass handled swords. Nope. Oh yeah, follow the student, absolutely. Realistically, the advent of modern technology means that there has been no need. Started working on laminating oak. Nice. Yeah, Wayne. Most of the time when you think of a dagger, you're normally thinking Renaissance and later. And by the Renaissance, we were talking about piercing through cloth and through chainmail and stuff like that. And so narrow, thick blades. Yes, there will be some distal taper. There is always distal taper. It doesn't need it, but there will be. But yeah, so you go back to like the early medieval period and into, pre-medieval, talking about Bronze Age. The wider blades were more common because you weren't coming up against chainmail armor. You weren't coming up against armor of most kinds, and cloth, like clothing didn't tend to be multi-layered, especially when you consider the Pugio was used in Rome, and Rome was fighting regularly against people in, warm climates and stuff like that. Egyptians, that kind of thing, Persians. Off the bench jeweler, nice. But yeah, so a wider cutting dagger is going to be, in this case, more useful than a narrow stabby dagger. You also got to remember, at this stage in history, steel was uncommonly rare. We're talking, right at the very end of the Bronze Age, the early Iron Age. And so having wide blades meant better chances of rigidity and cutting power, provided the material doesn't crumple. That's why commonly in Bronze Age swords you'd find they're leaf-shaped, because you need that extra width. Because in order to maintain rigidity over such a long piece, you need quite a thick blade relative to their steel compatriots. And that meant that having that width allowed you to have the thick center rib and still have decent cutting geometry. And as I said at the beginning of the stream, most Pugio had that center rib as well. Niels does some amazing daggers. Basillards are cool. I've made Basillards. Well, I made a Basilard. But yeah, regularly in Pugio and in other contemporary dagger forms, that would be your cross section. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah. With that center rib. And so if you had a very narrow dagger, you'd end up with no cutting power whatsoever. It'd just basically be a shank. And while there was, use for shanks in in later periods, in the Roman era, they weren't necessarily as useful. Chalk Talks coming soon. I started filming the first one the other day. You can, Ryan. Go for it. Yeah, a new series is coming, Chalk Talks. If you're interested in the theory behind bladesmithing and knife geometries and stuff like that, make sure you're subscribed. I have a feeling everyone watching is subscribed, but if you aren't, now's the time. I do need to narrow this down a little bit. Rondel daggers, yeah. Hey, Yami, that's fine. You're not late. A wizard is never late. On that note, talking about announcements, Chalk Talks are coming, and I'm going to end up where I'm going to be doing some more build videos soon. They arrive precisely when they mean to. So yeah, I will be also announcing a new competition that I'll be holding, that I will be... no worries, Brandon. Thanks for hanging out, mate. He did say it was heat for him too. Yeah. So I'll be hosting a competition, and the prizes will all be stuff from me. So keep your ears out very soon. Oh, Matt, I'm full of Lord of the Rings references. Address that thickness. You need a blade that's thicker at the tip. Chicken hospital's going good. You have to have some wood from you. I have wood from you. Chicken hospital's going well. Hyacinth's basically back to normal. She still has trouble jumping high, but she's mostly healed, which is good. Gladius and Sparta, yeah. Not a super hot day. I'm not even going to try and pronounce your username. Not a super hot day. I am recovering. I still have a chest infection, so I'm sweating quite readily the moment I start doing anything mildly physical. My breath starts coming short. But it is starting to warm up. But yeah, this competition that's coming will be a knife making competition, and I'm going to have 3 prizes. It's going to be a 2-month-long competition starting November 1st, and the first prize is going to be my full set, my current full set of engraving chisels, my engraving hammer, the wrought iron 1084 engraving hammer, 4 Hisage scrapers, burnishing tool, several texturing punches, everything that I have used to date to do all of the engraving that I have done. That will be first prize. Second and third prize will are to be assessed. It should be a fairly difficult competition, I'm hoping. So the competition is going to be to make a Bowie knife. You're not allowed to start until November 1st, but it's going to be 2 months long. I'm going to be announcing the winner on January 1st. I'm completely retooling, Paul. So thanks to Wayne. Thanks to Wayne Heights, I ended up retooling with W1 tool stock, and I actually made all of my gravers to the same size. One of the things about the graver set that I have right now is that the graver length varies and the graver material varies, and while they're usable, they're not, like, I'm starting to get to the level where I'm beyond that, and I also, want a more uniform set. But this will give you everything you need to get started. Everything that I've made, all of the engraving that I've done, including like the mountain hammer and all that kind of stuff, was all done with this set. So it's a usable set. But yeah, so it's going to be a Bowie competition. More details will come as more details will come soon, Aaron. I'm not announcing the full details until November 1st, so that people don't get a head start on others. I'm starting to slowly announce it. Exactly, Paul. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Corey, fair enough. I feel really bad for Alec. Yeah, that whole fucking situation is terrible. But yeah, I feel bad for everyone in that scenario. But you missed the announcement for a competition I'm going to be hosting over the next 2 months, starting November 1st, ending January 1st. Where the first prize will be my current complete set of engraving tools. Because the way the customer wants this ground, I won't be forging the bevels in. He wants quite a large flat, but I am going to forge the profile. I'm just going to match it to my drawing. It's good. Start thinning the material out behind the point. Monosteel, pattern weld steel. Well, for this project, it's all monosteel. Well, seeing as you don't know the design parameters, Aaron, you could try. Hey, Troy, how you going? What are my thoughts on hard to get Japanese super steels like ZBP 189? So, what the fuck? Japan is famous for its steel, and details to come, Bobby. like I said, I'm not going to announce everything now because then people will want to get a head start. Don't worry, you'll have 2 months. But yeah, the basics. What was I talking about now? God damn it, I've completely forgotten Japanese steel, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I get sidetracked. Yeah, so Japan is well known for developing really high quality steels. ZDP 189 is not one that I'm familiar with, so I wouldn't be able to speak directly on that. Steels that I have come across are like blue super steel and white paper steel. The advantage that the Japanese steels have is they are dedicated to perfection, right? Like in Western steel industries, majority of the time they allow quite a large variation in carbon and alloy content in the same steel designation, right? Like you can have W1 and you could have two pieces of W1 that have quite a large variation in alloy content, but are still classified as W1. But that variation in alloy content can then vary the effectiveness of said material. The Japanese super steels, as far as I'm aware, and white paper steel specifically, are very small batch steels designed to be as uniform as physically possible in alloy and carbon content. Out of the forge. Oh, that sucks, dog. That sucks, Bobby. I'm sorry. That would be cool, Matthew. That would be cool. But yeah, it's a matter of like Aaron says. You know, in W1, for instance, they allow between 0.95, I think, and 1.1% carbon in order for it to be classified as W1, as well as all the other alloying contents. Whereas white paper steel, it is 1.21 or 1.2% carbon. Like, that's just it. I will, well, I mean, even Sheffield and Toledo didn't have precise steel types. Sheffield, quite famously, in the early days, was taking their steel from wherever they could get it. And steel manufacturers in the Western world are still making high quality steels. It's just that there's a variation between one quote unquote high quality and another. The thing is, you pay a huge premium for Japanese steels because of that accuracy. So it comes down to that argument of accuracy versus affordability. Not everyone has the money to buy Takefu specials in order to make knives. I mean, hell, I know I don't. Yeah, that's it, Aaron. Me too, Mitchell. Me too. I'm just sad that it's taking me so long to get started. But yeah, if you start looking at like the AISI standardization charts for steel types, you'll be amazed at how wide the margin between like contents is still in that category. And that's why you can get a batch of steel that just doesn't work very well. It's like everyone talks about Don Hansen's W2 when they talk about making hormones and stuff. If you want to make good W2 stuff, Don Hansen's W2 was just perfect. And that's because he made it in small batch, and he was very, very anal retentive about how he made it. Now, he doesn't make W2 anymore. If you want to buy W2, you buy it from Aldo Bruno, but most knife makers will agree that Aldo's W2 is not as good as Don Hansen's W2. Yeah, fair enough, Owen. I mean, the thing is that we've moved away from mass production of high quality knives in as far as we've gone towards affordability versus quality. Back then, affordability and quality kind of went hand in hand in most cases because they paid their workers absolute fucking shit. Oh, awesome, Troy. Hey, Robert, how you going? Yeah, exactly, Aaron. Like a few of my ABS friends have bought up like meters and meters and meters of Don Hansen steel before he retired, purely so that they could have access to high quality steels. But yeah, you try and buy a Don Hansen W2 these days, and if you can find someone who's willing to let go of their length, which very, very unlikely, you're paying a huge premium for it. And that's why Takefu can charge ridiculous prices for their steels, because it's very small batch and it's very very well controlled. But yeah, not all of us have the money to afford it. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady doesn't suffocate to death. Yeah, I hope you have a good hunt, Bobby. Sorry that you're gonna miss out on a few weeks of materials work for the competition. And as far as the competition goes, I will not be limiting it to bladesmiths only. So if you're a knife maker who only makes knives by stock removal, you will be able to enter this competition as well. Okay, Fallen. Yeah, like I said, I'm not completely familiar with that specific alloy, but yeah, I would say that's why they can charge such a premium on their steels. I know that Takefu makes a Mokamai steel, so it's Mokamegane over a blue super steel core, and it's like $350 for a half meter. ain't cheap. But then again, the technology required to make that kind of stuff ain't cheap itself. I can't remember, Mitchell. Are we doing Forge Finished Center? Or am I doing all training? I might send you an email to confirm, because I've forgotten. Memory serves, I think it was Forge Finished, but I don't want to assume. I think it was you that was ordering it, wasn't it? Gotta learn how to knife. ZDP is made by Hitachi. Okay. Well, Hitachi, I think it's Hitachi that own the last two Tamahagane. Yes, that is a common thing, Fallen. There are a few alloys of steel that certain makers in Japan will not sell outside of the country. For instance, Tamahagane. I think it's Hikoki. All right, I'll email you about it. Obviously, I'm not going to get that to that point today. I think, yeah, because Hitachi is now Hikoki. Hikoki, I believe, own the last two Tamahagane Tatara, traditional ones in Japan. And they will not sell to anyone but, I think, katana collectors and, like, sword forgers. And one guy who makes wind chimes out of Tamahagane. Most of the guys that you'll see in the Western world that have Tamahagane either bought their Tamahagane from a group in, I think it's Sweden or Germany, somewhere around there, that make small batch bloomery steel, but they call it Tamahagane. Like if you look up Tamahagane for sale on Google, you'll find them because they advertise it as Tamahagane, although I find that a little insulting. Or they went to Japan and purchased it off of a collector or were gifted it by a smith in Japan. Try and narrow it and keep it straight, which is why it's so. See you later, Kevin. Have a good sleep, mate. What number is my fly press? It doesn't have a number, funnily enough. It's not a Norton press. Only the Nortons have numbers. This one is a John Hine press, which was made in Australia. Yeah, exactly, Aaron. Yeah. I kind of treat Tamahagane like champagne, whereas if it's not made in the Champagne region of France, it's not champagne. Much like that. Tamahagane that's not made in Japan isn't really Tamahagane. But yeah, it's a 4.5 ton little fly press. Thanks, Robert. I'm just a dude who's read too much. Marty McFly press, indeed. Yeah. He's between 4 and 4.5 tons. So in a Norton, I think that's like a number 2 or something on the small end. Not designed for heavy work, but that's okay because I don't use them for heavy work. We're getting pretty close, I think. Roy has a romance going on. It's pretty awesome. What do I think about Woots? Well, you're asking at the right time because Aaron Finn is the Woots Master of Australia. Woots is a fascinating material. As far as quality of material, it's no better than any modern steel. In actual fact, it's quite a bit worse in a lot of ways than most modern steels. But the historical relevance of it and the really cool chemistry that is involved in the dendritic patterns and the carbides and stuff like that, I think is quite fascinating. And I have some Woots, actually, sitting around here somewhere, still in its crucible because I haven't cracked it open yet. I don't know where Andy put it. Ah, there it is. So I have a crucible full of Woots that I will eventually crack open and turn into something. And I'm friends with Peter Burt as well, who's quite famous for his work with Woots. But if you want to learn about Woots, Peter Burt's channel is probably the best place to go. That man knows more about Woots than many have forgotten. It's actually pretty much it. For blade shave and length. Go back over it and flatten it all out, but I'm going to cut the shoulders in first. That's pretty bloody close to perfect. Okay, so throw that in there like that. Guillotine. Find out where Andy put my wedge. Probably thought it was scrap steel and threw it away. Wedge. I am a wedge tool convert. Oh, that's a problem. Don't fit. Right. Plan B. Hey, James. Hey, Peapot, this is my job. Yeah, I got mine on Facebook Marketplace. If we're talking about the fly press. There you go, just ahead of where I need it. That's going to be the problem. That's why I wanted to use the effective guillotine tool, but well, this person here. This is why you don't use thin stock on a press. Because it buckles. Preston is always the right man. Doing a job making anachronistic weapons? Well, that's what we do. That's what I do. Yeah, so Roots is one of those things, and the Pugio is a dagger that was carried along with the Gladius. Correct. Also carried by senators and yeah, I'll be first in line to buy that book. Not all woots is woots. I learned that pretty quick, talking to Peter. Rick Furrer has made a couple of really nice Woots blades. He made a Woots Shamshir a few years back that was quite nice. There are a couple of guys that I know that have made really decent modern Woots reproductions. There's a guy, I can't remember his name. He made a couple for the Shah of Oman, or one of the Shahs in Oman, and it was a pair of Shamshir out of Woots, and they were gilt and damascened and all that kind of stuff. It was freaking amazing. Very funny try. But yeah, it really does depend on the maker. Woots itself isn't necessarily a super steel, so it's only as good as the maker using it. But realistically, the advent of modern alloys and stuff like that kind of made Woots redundant in a functional aspect. Yeah, Rick is fucking cool as. I had the great opportunity to talk to him on a forum, like message him on a forum a couple of times, like 4 or 5 years ago. And dad jokes are everywhere when I'm involved. I'm just gonna draw this tang down. Oh. Yeah, James, like, the thing is that mono steel is always going to be better than any kind of pattern welded material or Woots, because mono steel is homogeneous, which is very important. Homogeneity, very important. Hate working thin stock under the press. Squish it, straighten it, squish it, straighten it, squish it, straighten it. You're in the Woots tang plan. Exactly, Aaron. Yeah. I had an interesting conversation with Rick. It was about Woot's blades, and the fact that quite a few of them were left unhardened. Quite a few of the ones that he came across were left unhardened purely because if you hardened the material around the carbides, it would just snap. Feather Damascus, yeah. Feather Damascus is fun. It's challenging. It's very challenging. I'm wondering if I can narrow it down far enough that I can get the subbed. Thank you very much for the sub. Much appreciated. See if I can get it in there now. Not quite. Technically, you should not work with the with anything in the hardy hole. I'm being very careful to keep my hand well clear of the guillotine, because I don't want to guillotine my fingers off. I think I'm gonna have to narrow this tang by hand anyway. Wedged tangs are the shit, yo. It is not. It's not a Baldor. It's a Linishawl. Oh, that's pretty cool, Fawn. Yes, Peapod. It is almost always done without gloves. Gloves mean that I can't feel the material or the hammer in my hand, and therefore don't have the coordination required to control the material. And realistically, there's nothing sharp, and heat, like steel is an incredibly bad conductor, so I don't actually feel the heat. And if I'm starting to feel the heat in the hand that's holding the material, then it's time to quench that material off so that it's no longer getting hot. Because no glove will save you from the heat of steel. It'll prevent like incidental contact burns, but holding a piece of hot steel will just burn the crap out of you through the glove. Hey, Jared, how you going? No, not a push dagger. Push daggers are illegal in Australia, unfortunately. Pugio is a Roman dagger. a Woman dagger. Yeah, we're getting there, Jared. You weren't here at the very beginning where I was coughing up a lung, but now that I've cleared most of the phlegm, I'm a little bit better. Still sweating up a storm. As much as I'm going to do before I cut it off the bar, now I'm going to forge out the blade thickness, make it all uniform. Trade hammers. Roderick or Roger? Yeah, Paul, once I clear the lungs. See you later, Ryan. It's a week of sleep. Anyone doing anything crazy with Woots? I think Bowie knows the long claws. I think I've seen a Woots arming sword. Hey Ed, Pugio is a Roman dagger. How much power would one want for a hydraulic press? It would depend on the, what do you mean by power? I mean, you need single phase. I would recommend 15 amp, but if you can get away with 10 amp, standard house power in Australia. You can get single phase 110 volt stuff for America. As far as like crushing power, you can get away with like 5 to 7 tons, but the higher the better. The big thing is speed. Speed is important. So my press is 20 tons, but it's also very fast. I would much prefer a lower powered fast press over a higher powered slow one. Like you can get a 50 ton press, 50 ton air over hydraulic that moves at about a centimeter per 30 seconds. You're not going to get any work done compared to this, which does 7 centimeters a second. So. Speed is important. But yeah, most of the time, 12 to 16 is a good beginning power for a press. Coal Ironworks makes a really good 16 ton and 12 ton bench mounted. Big Blue makes a 25 ton, I think. Anyang makes a 25 ton. Like if you can afford it, I just go for the higher power hydraulic presses because high squishing power is also good. Preferably air presses in the States, no. Hydraulic is going to be better than air anytime. If I was going to recommend a press for forging, then I would probably recommend a Coal Ironworks in America. For under 2K, you're going to have to start building your own, basically. $18 ton. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, no worries, Brandon. Yeah, no, air is always going to be too slow, and you're going to need a gigantic compressor to run it. So you'd actually end up paying more to run an air compressor powered press over a hydraulic. You can build them relatively inexpensively. Like this one, I paid $1,500 in total Australian, which American is like $750, or maybe $1,000 to build. And that's just based off an old hydraulic log splitter. You can find the video on my channel of the build breakdown. But yeah, so you can build them relatively inexpensively if you have the know-how, but otherwise, Coal Iron Works makes probably one of the best presses on the market for the price. You're better off saving up for that, just spending the extra money. If I was in America, I would have a Coal Iron Works press. That's all I'm saying. Hashtag not sponsored. Wish I was. Yeah, the Brits did like taking them back from India during the Indian campaigns and Afghanistan during the Afghan War. Brits are really like taking stuff from places. A thing called a museum, indeed. See you later, Troy. Funerals are never fun, man. Take it easy. Yeah, Ben, a hydraulic press is going to be your best investment. Don't worry, Bash, we're not talking about you. All right, that could be the case. Hey Alex, how you going? I mean, it's not a really big dagger in terms of daggers, funnily enough. The differentiation between a dagger and a sword tends to be a little bit grey. Most of the time, it's generally accepted that anything over 20 inches in length is a sword, a short sword. Proper full-length swords are between 29 and 38 to 44 inches in length, in blade length. But yeah, generally a dagger will be like fucking anywhere from 4 to 18 to 20 inches. It's a Roman dagger. Alex, we're talking about Romans just last night. Romans? What have the Romans done for us? Yes. This is a Pugio, kind of based around the Mainz Gladius. Just by dint of the wasp's waist. Yeah, some Renaissance daggers were, 16 inches in length. In blade length. This one is definitely not the longest dagger that I've made. A couple of dagger blades sitting over here, actually. That's not the dagger. So this is a Venetian cutting dagger. I don't know where it's gone, but yes. I have a wide variety of daggers of varying lengths. It's Sup 9. Oh, no. We're just talking about the... roads. Wine. Democracy. Cinque Dea daggers got huge. They were basically swords. No, you're good, Peapot. That's fine. We're here for questions. You could have heard me say that, Wayne. I don't recall, but... Maybe you heard me say fucking Sean Dagger, the awfully talented shantyman that he is. Just going to double check it against my drawing. We are about perfect. Alright, time to clip it off the bar. A Pugio. Oh, you mean the Venetian cutting dagger? It's Sup 9. Sup 9 high carbon steel. Jared likes his curves. Sup 9 is 5160 equivalent. Yeah, you were talking about this dagger, Wayne, the Venetian cutting dagger. All right, Matthew, thanks very much for hanging out, mate. Appreciate it. Her. Yes. All good. But yeah, this one's kind of shaped after the mains gladius, that wasp-waisted, flared tip look, which the mains gladius is probably the prettiest of the gladiuses, if I'm being honest. So it's a good one to base it off. Fun times, Alex. But yeah, no, people, we highly suggest questions here, because you never know what question's going to send me off into a 2-hour-long rant about certain topics. And the chat always likes me to go on a rant. Until they don't. Unfortunately so, Jared. Unfortunately so. Yeah, Alex, that's true. What are we ranting about? Anything you want, Jared. Well, actually, no, not anything. I take it back. Right. Now we just forge the tang down. Yes, Roman metallurgy is quite interesting. It depends on what period of ancient Rome we're talking about, because, you know, Rome, like the Roman Empire existed for, you know, well over a couple of 100 years. Early, and that's what I was talking about earlier in the stream. Most Pugio that you would find cross-sectionally would look like this, even up until the Iron Age of Rome, because this center rib was good for the Bronze Age, because obviously you needed that extra thickness and extra rigidity in a bronze weapon. And then when they started making iron versions of the Pugio, they basically just copied the cross-section, which was much more difficult, because making a center rib like that while forging is a lot harder than just casting a center rib into something. And so eventually we ended up coming to the more traditional diamond cross-section with a slight hollow, because again, they had, you know, waterstones, like rolling sandstone, and so they would have a hollow ground diamond cross-section. Slaves mechanized. It wasn't mechanized. Yes, and soon, Peapot, I'm going to be having a series called Chalk Talks. I've filmed the first episode already. I'm going to be having a series about various aspects of blacksmithing and bladesmithing in general. I mean, the mechanization didn't involve slaves, like, after it was built. Will there be tests? Oh, they can be if you want. I normally leave the tests just for my employee. He has to answer all the questions. Line shaft setup? Yeah, that'll be cool. Daggers can be up to 20 inches long. Indeed. Water wheels are the slaves that never revolt. Exactly right. The longest technical dagger was over 35 inches long. Wow. Technical. I'd be interested to hear those technicalities. Depends on the dog's head, Brody, but I've got a new line of dog's heads coming, my English cutlass hammers. I've currently got 4 in the works, and more to come. These 2.5 pound English cutlass hammers, these are as forged before grinding. They'll be $200 a piece, Australian. Sultan. Right, there you go. I imagine it was something to do with the hilt construction. Or the proportions. Because if the handle is in proportion to the blade in a way that a dagger would be, then it could technically be classified as a dagger without the necessity of having need it be dagger sized. Kind of like the katana at that shrine. I can't remember the name of the shrine, but there's a nodachi technically, but the thing is freaking like 18 feet long. No human could wield it. Messes the knives, indeed. Kanjo, alright, yeah. Lungs versus. Still a kanjo, yeah. Why do they have the divot in the head? Which divot? I am unfamiliar with what you're talking about. Are you talking about the cupping at the cupping at the front of the hammerhead? That's because they're as forged before grinding. They haven't been ground yet. And during the forging process, the outside of the material moves faster than the inside, so it creates a cupping at the face. That will all be ground out. There you go. Could have been the light. Maybe the light was hitting it. Maybe, maybe not. It depends. Are you talking about that divot at the face? That one? Because that's the forging. It hasn't been ground yet. Or if you're talking about that divot, that's my maker's mark. So, yeah, that's that. I got a really good review there for my English cutler the other day. A person bought an English cutler from me who had also bought one of my old Japanese cutlers from a while back. And they were both exactly the same weight, but he was surprised at how efficiently the English cutler's hammer forged in comparison. It's amazing how much difference just a small change in the geometry of the face can make to the overall effectiveness of a hammer. draw this out and then I'll grind the tang profile out properly. Because I need to make the tang very specific shape in order to make it usable in this context. Yeah, Alex, I'm getting there. Shipping runs from 30 to 50. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's so it's 70 Australian dollars to send a hammer to the States. So about 35 to 50 bucks. It's about technique, Peapot. I've actually done video on. Alex has done a video and I've done a video on hammer technique and how to best improve it. Because it doesn't kill your hand as much as you think. My hamsters fell off the wheel. You can buy a hammer, yeah, if you want to. Yeah, I have an Etsy store. I think it's linked in the description. Maybe one of my mods can link it in the chat. Yeah, shipping to the States is a lot cheaper than shipping from the States. But just check out my Etsy store. There's a bunch of stuff there. Pretty sure it's in the description. But if it's not, it's etsy.com/au/shop/Sam Towns Bladesmith. Or you can just go to etsy.com and search Sam Towns Bladesmith and you'll find me. I think I have one hammer for sale at the moment. It's a left-handed diagonal peen. But I also have a bunch of other stuff. Knivs and scissors. Actually, I have a couple more blacksmith knives to put up there that I made previous to the Royal Show. But you'll probably know Dean Peapot. He owns one of my scissors, set of my scissors. Oh, there you go. You have to look it up as a shop AU, like the /AU. It's weird. Oh. You certainly could. skizzles. Pine tarring hammer handles. Have not done it myself. Am not very well versed in pine tar because it's not something we get a lot of here in Australia, funnily enough. I would imagine that it's probably a little too sticky in most instances. From what little experience I have with pine tar, but I think the Americans in the crowd would probably be better off answering that one, as they're more likely to have had experience with said materials. I'll stick with boiled linseed oil. If I want my handle to be black, I just char it. Stardew is a little different to real life, but yeah. Oh dear. It's going to be a full tank. Originally, the intent was to I was going to do like a frame tank, because the customer specifically wants file work around the handle. But we discussed some design points, and I think I can get the guard around the handle and have it seat properly without needing to do a frame tang, and that's going to save me a little bit of time and save them a little bit of money. So win-win. It's just going to mean some finagling when it comes to the guard mounting, but that's okay. I'm used to finagling. I am a practiced finagler. Trying to throw it on the floor, apparently. I think that'll do it. Alright, there you go. That is the finished forging. I've left it proud of all of the design lines. For those of you who weren't here at the beginning of the stream, that's the design. So you can see similarities. So a little bit, it's a little bit of eyeballing, a little bit of muscle memory and practice, a little bit of measurement. But this build specifically, I was given very specific, geometry to follow. Most of the time I'm given a little bit more artistic freedom, but in this case, the person had a very specific want. Looks a little bigger, but that's because it's well in front of the paper, because I don't want to put it to the paper or burn it. But it's you can trust me when I say that it's pretty damn close to being exact to the scale of the drawing. The wasping is maybe a little bit long, but that's okay because I can cut those shoulders up. So it's actually a little bit long in the shoulder, but that's all right because I can grind the shoulders up. But yeah, so that's the overall shape. Now, as I said, the customer wants a very shallow bevel, so it's not going to have forged bevels. It's going to have a large flat in the center, which is then going to be engraved. So that's cool. It's going to have a brass guard, faux ivory handle scales, and mosaic pins, and it's going to have file work on the guard, on the handle. See you later, Paul. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So I'm just going to reiterate, Chalk Talks are coming soon. I've started filming a whole bunch, and I'm going to back up a bunch and have them scheduled to come out every Wednesday. Until I can start doing build videos again and stuff like that. I'm kind of focusing on training my employee at the moment, so doing theory videos is going to help me. If you have any suggestions for theory stuff, send them to me on Instagram, send them to me via email at samtownsbladesmith@gmail.com, or you can send them to me via like comments on my YouTube channel and stuff like that. And that will greatly help me with, giving you the information that you guys want. And also gives me content. The competition that is coming 1st November, I will be advertising a little bit more of it as the time runs down to the November 1st. I will be announcing a Bowie competition, the Bowie building competition. The first prize will be a full set of engraving tools, my full set of engraving tools. So if you're looking to get into Japanese style engraving, then it will be the perfect starter set for you, because it's literally every tool that I have used to do every piece of engraving I've done so far. So with that being said, I'm going to jump off. I'm going to go inside and rest for a little while, because despite the fact that I am feeling better and I'm glad to be back in the shop a little bit, I'm still not feeling the greatest, and it's going to be a slow recovery. But I will get there, promise. No worries, Bash. Unfortunately, Peapod, it's kind of the terminology and stuff like that is passed between all of the episodes. I would suggest starting at episode 1 and going from there. Don't get friendly with Nils though, because he doesn't hang around for too long. But yeah, anyway, guys, with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic week. I will see you next time, next Saturday, or probably Wednesday with the first Chalk Talk video. So hopefully I'll see you there. Bye, guys.